Good morning, this is your TDT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is urging motorists to exercise caution and adhere to speed limits on the nation's roads. This comes as 20 new LiDAR, or light detection and ranging speed enforcement devices, are being rolled out across major highways and secondary roads nationwide. The advanced technology is expected to greatly improve the TTPS ability to identify speeding and other traffic offenses with increased precision and efficiency.
So gone are the days where you'll see the police vehicle parked up in visible places. I saw some very humorous social media memes with police hiding in the bush and all of that to catch people speeding. Technology has taken over, and we are now embracing that technology to bring road safety to Trinidad and Tobago.
That's the assurance from Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara, who says officers will no longer need to manually operate speed guns, as 20 new LiDAR speed devices will be strategically installed across major roadways. The new LiDAR speed devices are designed to detect speeding violations with greater precision while reducing human error. Road Safety Coordinator Brent Batson explained that the technology is being adopted by law enforcement agencies worldwide due to its reliability and advanced features.
Our technology goes further because we can actually get image captures of the vehicle registration plate, print it out to provide the driver with the evidence. Our new technology also has with it what we call license plate illuminators that allow a high level of enforcement during the night when we know most of the speed intensity take place. This has expanded now so that we can cover all police divisions.
Transport Commissioner Clive Clark is urging motorists to obey posted speed limits, reminding them that speeding offences attract various fines, depending on the severity of the violation. In other news, there is no indication that social assistance applications have increased following the closure of the Community-Based Environmental Protection and Enhancement Program, or CPEP. This was confirmed by Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of the People, Social Development and Family Services, Dr. Natalie Chaitan Maharaj, as she addressed a question in the Senate on Tuesday. Dr. Chaitan Maharaj said a review of applications from before and after the closure in July 2025 showed no direct correlation, with only 441 new applications.
From the period July 2024 to March 2025, there were 2,689 applications, and from the period July 2025 to March 2026, there were 3,130 applications. Based on the data analysis undertaken, no direct correlation or causation can be established between the increase in new applications for the two grants mentioned and the discontinuation of the community-based environmental protection and enhancement programs.
Dr. Chaitan Maharaj said the ministry continues to support vulnerable households through a range of social assistance grants, which remain accessible to former CPEP workers. She also noted that government has revised the standard means test used to assess eligibility for several social safety net programs, broadening access to support.
Cabinet approved a 42% increase in the poverty threshold applied under the SMT to more accurately reflect the country's current economic realities. This adjustment is expected to expand access to social assistance by allowing a greater number of low-income and financially vulnerable households to qualify for support, including households whose income may have been adversely affected by the discontinuation of CPEP's routine operations.
The change to the threshold will take effect from June 1st, 2026. In some sport news now, Barbados Pride resumed day 3 on 262 for 9, but could only add 34 more runs, being bowled out for 296, 37 short of Trinidad and Tobago Red Force's first innings total of 333 in their West Indies Championship clash in Antigua. With a first innings lead of 37, the Red Force wasted no time asserting their dominance in their second innings. Cephas Cooper was the standout performer, top scoring with an unbeaten 101 off 192 deliveries, hitting 14 fours. The Red Force closed day 3 on 209 for 7. Joshua Bishop, who was left stranded on 99 not out in the Pride's first innings, runs was the pick of the Barbados bowling attack, taking 4 for 60, while Roston Chase sent down 21 overs, claiming 3 for 49. And that's what's making the news this morning. But joining us right now is Virmala Balkaran, the host of Trinidad and Tobago Today. Good morning, Virmala.
Good morning, Carrie. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, happy hump day, as they say.
That's right. We have made it to the middle of the week. That means we are almost there.
You know, let's keep telling ourselves we're almost there.
Yeah. Do you realize that going through the week simply means that we are counting the days until the weekend?
Yeah, always.
Yeah,
always.
But I'm okay with that. That's totally fine by me.
I mean, I enjoy my job, but you know, it's nice to be able to sleep in sometimes too.
Absolutely. I don't even know what that feels like because my body automatically wakes me up early on the weekends. Anyway.
But then you could go back to bed.
Well, maybe you can. I always have things to do. I remember I told you there are lots of roosters where I live in Central.
So what you're saying is I need to give you a recipe.
You know
a
what?
chicken recipe? Yeah.
You know, talking about cleaning up the environment, we are also observing World Mosquito Awareness Week 2026. Well, it's Caribbean Mosquito Awareness Week. And you know, you were telling me earlier that you went home and did some cleaning up around your house today. So
yes.
Yesterday.
It's very important to, you know, those old tires that collect water and who knows, a random bucket or container around the house. Because those are prime breeding grounds for mosquitoes.
Yeah, and a question this morning to everyone. When last have you washed your barrel?
Wow.
Yeah,
that's for those who still have barrels, right?
But a lot of people now have barrels, I feel like, because, you know, you want to ensure that you always have a nice water supply, even just to do things outside. You catch maybe
I grew up having a barrel, and I used to jump in those barrels.
Yeah, you maybe should jump in a barrel and clean it.
I like that.
That's not a bad idea. So do a little cleaning up around your home. Remember that your surroundings matter, and that's where mosquitoes actually breed. So you want to make sure that it's clean, especially if you have, you know, little children, anybody in general. Please be careful because mosquito-borne diseases are awful.
Yeah, that's right. You know, we need to keep it clean, keep a clean scene, and reduce the sources. You know, we had a news story earlier this week, and one of the officials was saying, you know, reduce the sources for where they can breed, and you know that would help a lot.
Yeah. Well, Carrie, I do hope that you go home and continue your cleaning. Take a look at your maybe a neighbor's barrels. Tell them to clean it so you can offer to clean theirs and then come clean mine. And
all right.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
coming
you know,
up
I should probably start a side business, you know, a side hustle. Barrel cleaning.
Barrel cleaning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Well, Carrie, coming up inside the show today, we speak with Derek King. You know, he's stepping into that new appointment. And also, after the break, we talk a little bit about art, that exhibition that's coming up. You do not want to miss it. So I'll talk to you soon.
Looking forward to it as usual, Virmala.
All right. See ya.
All right. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
When we come back, the Trinidad and Tobago Today morning show gets going after this break.
When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens, because your world can't wait. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
All right, settle on. Let's see who made the roster this year. Excuse me, sir.
Aí ela quer dar poxa minha mãe logo aí, tá vendo?
Mr. Hoyt,
Yes, Principal.
are these the new students?
Yes. The best of the best.
Say, CEO, what if the term now start and these children missing school already?
Hey, what are you doing there?
Introducing the new class of Next 99.1 FM.
I'm Renee Sion with another edition of Caribbean Week in Review.
Wednesday, 13th May 2026. The time now, it is 6:11 a.m. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Virmala Balkaran, and welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today. Well, let's take a look at what's trending this morning. The search for missing 2-year-old Angelo Tobias in Tobago has turned into a recovery operation after a body believed to be that of the child was spotted in waters near Goodwood yesterday. Now, the Hunters Search and Rescue Team has since been called in to assist as efforts continue in and around the Goodwood community. Angelo was reported missing on Monday evening, prompting relatives and residents to search the area before the authorities were notified. And as grief and emotions continue to run high, loved ones are being reminded that this is a moment for support, compassion, and unity, and not blame. Now, we will continue to monitor this developing story and take a deeper look tomorrow on Tobago Thursday. Well, moving on now, a change.org petition titled "Protect Students at Holy Name Convent, Remove Sister Renee as Principal" has surpassed 1,000 signatures. The Board of Management of Holy Name Convent, Port of Spain, says it has taken note of the concerns and emotions that are being expressed following the appointment of Sister Renee Hall as the principal. So in a statement, the board says it understands the strong reaction within the school community and added that an independent investigation has now been launched into the current and past allegations involving Sister Hall, to be conducted in line with the Ministry of Education and TSC procedures and separate from both the board and the Dominican Sisters leadership. And in another story, with recent reports of scams and robberies linked to Facebook Marketplace transactions in TNT, the TTPS is now reminding the public to please take the extra precautions when buying and selling online. Users are urged to use designated safe exchange zones such as police stations or other well-lit CCTV monitored public areas. Verify your buyer and seller profiles. And please avoid deals that appear to be too good to be true, because chances are they actually are. The TTPS also advises meeting in daylight, bringing someone along, keeping communication on Messenger, inspecting items before payment, and avoiding advance transfers or suspicious shipping requests. And actually, a few weeks ago, we had the TTPS in studio with us on the Socially Safe podcast, and that's one of the topics that they touched on, and we will be having them coming on the show in a little bit to explain all of that and, help to guide you when you're doing transactions like that. Well, coming up after the break, the chairman of the National Museum and Art Gallery of TNT tells us all about the upcoming NCIC Heritage Festival Visual Arts Exhibition. And later, head coach of the senior men's national football team, Derek King, joins us to discuss his appointment. You know what to do. Grab your cup of coffee and settle in. Trinidad and Tobago Today has begun.
Attention viewers in Trinidad and Tobago. The Truth of God now airs on the TTT network every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. You won't want to miss the dynamic preaching of Pastor Jennings as he speaks from God's Holy Bible. The Truth of God, Sunday mornings at 7 a.m. on the TTT network.
The plays that shake the arenas. The stories that move a nation. From football to cricket, track to tennis, every win, every rivalry, every headline. This is where Trinidad and Tobago come for sports.
TTT Sports. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Spaghetti जैसे घने लंबे बाल, olives जैसी काली काली, actually not so काली काली आंखें, baby corn जैसी नुकीली नाक, cherry tomatoes जैसे लाल लाल गाल, sliced bell pepper से बने होंठ, jalapeno सी तीखी जुबान, चलती फिरती पास्ता डिश, आलू पराठा थोड़ी खाऊंगी।
कबीर, मैं तो फ्लैट हो गई। इससे पहले मुझे कभी किसी ने सब्जी की दुकान के जैसे नहीं देखा।
फूल इश्क तेरा मेरा, फूल इश्क टेढ़ा मेढ़ा, फूल इश्क कुछ कुछ मेरा, फूल इश्क ज्यादा तेरा।
Your news, anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most, on air and online. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Early prostate cancer has absolutely no signs or symptoms, and that's why we strongly push the men once a year, get out there and get screened with a digital rectal examination and a PSA, prostate-specific antigen, a blood test. Any PSA above 4 is abnormal. All men, once they hit 40 years of age, go and have that PSA test done.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Well, once again, we're at summer's doorstep. The action is picking up with a variety of events that'll thrive alongside all of the popular attractions. Hello everyone, I'm Aidan St. Agath and welcome to Caribbean Passport TV.
All eyes will be on Antigua this summer for the 2026 Carnival celebrations, to which everyone is invited to feel the rhythm. With over 2 months of pre-events to warm things up, Antigua and Barbuda is event and activity driven. So if eco-adventure and marine life are among your passions, then Scooter Snorkeling is the tour company for you.
Continues to celebrate over 180 years of Indian presence in the country. The NCIC Heritage Festival Visual Arts Exhibition 2026 seeks to highlight the beauty, resilience, and the cultural richness of the Indo-Trinbagonian experience through art. Under the theme Celebrating Our Indo-Trinbagonian Legacy, the exhibition invites local artists to explore identity, history, spirituality, tradition, and modern Indo-Trinbagonian life through paintings, sculptures, and even photography. The exhibition will be held at the NCIC Nagar Shagonas from Saturday, May 23rd to Friday, June 5th, 2026. And this forms part of the wider NCIC Heritage Festival celebrations. And spearheading this initiative is Mr. Richard Ramprasad, the chairman of the National Museum and Art Gallery of TNT, who also serves as curator of the exhibition. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning, Virmala. Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome, and congratulations on your recent appointment as chairman. I know that there is always so much work to do, and you really hit the ground running with this one.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about this year's visual arts exhibition. So the theme is celebrating our Indo-Trinbagonian legacy. So why was this chosen, and what inspired this?
So the NCIC Heritage Center would have opened its doors on May 2016. This year we'll be celebrating our 9th year hosting these art exhibitions. And each year we choose a different theme. This year's theme, celebrating our Indo-Trinbagonian experience, really invites artists to probe deep within their creative consciousness and delve into aspects of their everyday lived reality as someone living in a plural society like Trinidad. The exhibition invites artists to produce works that interrogate aspects of their everyday life, from cuisine, culture, to rituals, festivals, even iconography of divinity and that type of thing, history, as well as we have noticed a lot of the work stems from the indentureship project. Persons would have drawn inspiration from that type of narrative. So it's really an amalgam of different facets of Indo-Trinbagonian culture that is being put forward through the paintings.
And this is in the lead up to Indian Arrival Day 2026 as well. So why is it important to highlight the Indo-Trinbagonian heritage through visual art, especially at this point in our society?
The month of May in Trinidad, we recognize it as Indian Heritage Month. And at the NCIC, we host several initiatives, several events to celebrate this month. The Visual Arts Exhibition is one such event that will take place on Saturday, the 23rd of May. Following that, we have a book launch. We would have an evening of different readings, and the final event, everything would culminate with the grand cultural show on the 30th of May at the main stage. So it's really important to be that repository of information that person can come and get about the Indo-Trinbagonian culture and experience.
Now, a lot of people probably know this already, but you are an artist and you're also a curator, well, the curator of the exhibition. So what exactly are you hoping to see from the participating artists?
Over the years, we have seen a tremendous growth in the exhibition in terms of the number of works we are receiving. When we would have issued the call for works, that would have been approximately a month ago. We were tremendously surprised by the responses of persons responding to the call to want to show their work and exhibit. So we'd have seen growth in the interest of artists, young artists, even established practitioners coming forward with their work and say, hey, I want to be part of the show. My work reflects the theme. I want to come on board. So I've seen tremendous growth. I've also seen a lot of young persons, students, and I am a secondary school art educator myself, and I'm seeing a lot of secondary school students coming forward. So it's really building their creative consciousness and giving them the confidence to make art and to exhibit art.
Yeah. Now, Richard, you've worn many hats. You continue to do that. Actually, we go a long way back.
Yeah.
We knew each other since our university days. So that's a very long time ago. And you've always been very interested, passionate, and very talented in the area of art. And also as a young person coming through the system, you know, the art industry or that career or that passion in the country, you understand that we need to continue to inspire the young people. So how does the exhibition contribute to preserving and educating the younger generations about East Indian culture and traditions? And we're giving them this opportunity. Are you seeing a lot of work coming from them? And is it, just deeply about the Indo tradition?
We have a collection of approximately 50 plus works of art that would include drawings, paintings, and even some sculptural works, some three-dimensional pieces. In total, we have 30 artists. This is a big number. This is a large group.
It's a lot.
What we're really doing, we're creating a repository of work, a repository of objects, a repository of material culture that persons can come, they can witness, and they can really absorb and see. So it's like a library when you come in there, because it's just visual information.
Yeah.
Artwork is visual literacy, it's visual communication, because the painter, the artist, is communicating something through line, color, texture, inviting the viewer to read this visual language.
Yeah, and they also use a lot of modern interpretation. So I'm not too familiar with the art jargon, but in terms of the medium that they're using, are you seeing anything new and dynamic that they're using to portray all of this?
There's a lot of juxtapositioning happening. So you see artists rendering their current reality, which is might be an Indo-Trinbagonian experience, through a modernized, creolized aesthetic. So you may see a Hindu person maybe going to temple not in full Indian wear in a painting, but might be in Western wear, but it still makes the connect that they are attached to their ancestral roots through spirituality and that type of thing. So it's a lot of juxtapositioning. One of the pieces we have is a still life piece that is entitled Offering, and it portrays different types of ritualistic vessels, ritualistic objects in a sort of a westernized settings. So it's really a juxtapositioning of different things, because we have been here for over 200 years since the arrival of the first batch. And over that time, we have been exposed to different modalities, different influences. So it's really how you weave everything into a fabric that is Trinbagonian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, just in preserving and safeguarding our cultural heritage, the National Museum and Art Gallery and the NCIC continue to play that role in all of this. Can you tell us briefly a little bit about the museum?
Okay, so I'm very excited as chairman of the museum. Actually, I feel like sometimes the news is still sinking in that I was appointed chairman. You know, Virmala, I'll tell you one thing. When I was a student at UWI, that was once a dream of mine.
Yeah.
Because at the degree program, we really had both art history and visual arts coming together in our program. So you were exposed to both domains of art. And when I got the appointment, I'm saying, yes, I can put what I learned at UWI to practice. Yeah. Everything connects. The work we're doing at the NCIC in my capacity as a curator, it really overlaps with the work I am doing as chairman of the National Museum and Art Gallery. The National Museum and Art Gallery is just not a repository of artifacts. It's a living story of our people. It has the narrative of our people from pre-Columbian era straight down to our current period, documented through artifacts, through painting. So it's a lot of intersectionality and overlapping that happens there. So it's just an extension of what I'm doing at the NCIC. It's an extension with what I'm doing at the National Museum and Art Gallery, because everything really weaves my passion for art, art history, documentary, ethnography, and all anthropology, all of these fun academic stuff.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Tell us about your role as curator in this exhibition as well. What role would you be actively playing for this exhibition?
So my responsibility is really to coordinate the event. I would have received the call a month ago, and like I said, the response has been overwhelmingly positive. We have collected all works by the artists, and my task now really is, how am I presenting these works to the public? So we have an exhibition space. How is the narrative unfolding? So when the viewer comes into the gallery space and they walk through the space, how is the story unfolding?
Yeah.
So that is a key concept in curating an exhibition. You walk into the gallery, you look at the first piece, how does it transition and flow into the second, and you end with the final piece.
But that is a tremendous job, because you are taking 30 plus, let's just say 30 different artists who has their own mind, and they have very separate pieces, and then you have to tell a story with that. I can only imagine how not challenging, but how interesting that must be.
Yeah, and that's where I feel like the skill would come in, and the artistic acumen, so to speak, because you really have to be strategic with how you navigate this. 30 artists. Each artist obviously will have their own unique signature style of painting, but it's one show, it's one exhibition. So it's just finding a creative way to tie and gel everything in. The story has to evolve, it has to unfold. So you portray, you arrange the pieces in a clever manner so that the narrative would unfold, and that's what it is. It's not just a random display of work, because it must tell a story.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And there we go with the word curate. So you're curating an experience for people. That is really interesting. I don't know if I can do that. But of course, years of experience and that artistic brain that you have always had will definitely come into play. So there's also the NCIC Heritage Festival as well. So that's a holistic experience. I'm not too sure if you can speak to that, but I know that the visual arts exhibition is complementing that wider festival experience. Yeah?
That's correct. So the fine final show would be the grand cultural event that takes place on the 30th of May, the Indian Arrival Day holiday, at the main stage. Everything culminates with that one final grand production.
And we will actually talk about that a little later on, maybe next week on the lead up to Indian Arrival Day. We'll be talking about that festival that takes place on the 30th. So before we wrap up, Richard, tell us about the exhibition for those who may want to be a part of this.
Right, so I invite every Trinbagonian to come attend this exhibition, especially school students. The exhibition promises to be a moving, impactful, engaging, strong collection. It's well curated. I'm really impressed with the quality of works we're getting. I mean, artists would have interrogated perhaps every subject matter as it relates to the theme that we would have put forward. The show opens on Saturday, the 23rd of May, 5 p.m. at the NCIC. It's free to the public. The public is invited, and the exhibition runs for 2 weeks. It closes on the 7th of June. It's open during the hours of 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. School children and even young practitioners, aspiring artists, everyone are invited to come view the work, meet the artists, come to the opening night, meet with the respective artists showing work, get a sense of what their studio practice is, their impetus to make the work. And let's have a conversation.
And what message do you hope that visitors will leave after experiencing the exhibition?
At the end of it all, it must be inspired. I always feel like art does something to the human condition that perhaps nothing else does. So leave inspired, leave motivated, leave more informed.
And where can we get more information about this online?
You can check out the NCIC's Facebook page, Instagram, or you can call myself, the curator, at 489-8693, should you require any additional information.
Well, this is very exciting, and we do hope that you attend. And, we have those pieces for you. We'll show you a little bit later on that Richard shared with us. We will show you what those look like in anticipation of this exhibition. Well, thank you, Richard, for being here this morning. We take a quick break, and then we come back. We have so much more for you. Mr. Derek King joins us along with Sean Fuentes.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Whatever the skies bring, stay prepared with TTT Weather. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Hey, up for this exciting challenge and confident about your business? If you are, the 1020 feature is just what you need. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 1020 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun.
Barcelona drawing a game, not winning their first set of game. Worried, concerned.
Emotional damage is fun to see.
What a wonderful finish. Corner,
more time.
The Trinidad and Tobago Football Association has officially appointed Derek King as head coach of the senior men's national team after serving in the role on an interim basis since March. And the TTFA says the appointment reflects confidence in King's experience, leadership, and long-standing involvement within the national football program. With upcoming international friendlies and the CONCACAF Nations League ahead, there's growing focus on stability, direction, and the future of the Soca Warriors under King's leadership. Well, joining us this morning are Sean Fuentes, TTFA Communications Director, and Derek King, head coach of the Trinidad and Tobago senior men's national team. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Oh, thank you for being here. Exciting news. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So how are you feeling? What was your reaction when you were officially offered this position full time?
Well, first of all, I want to thank God. First of all, I want to thank the executive of TTFA. And I've been around the football for quite some time, a former national player. I've been there with the national 20, 23 team and senior team. So it's always a pleasure to serve my country, doing something that I love.
Well, Sean, why did the TTFA believe that Derek was the right choice at this time?
Well, he just said it there. I think if you look at Derek's tenure with national football, it's quite substantial. As a matter of fact, he's the last coach to win a regional title for Trinidad and Tobago. When we captured the under-20 men's crown in 2014, he was the head coach. So there are some players that would have, graduated from that team that are now into the national setup. And he has been part of the senior team setup during some of our highlights in recent times when we qualified for consecutive quarterfinals at the CONCACAF Gold Cup 2013, 2015. He's been there working with Stephen Hart. He's also there, obviously part of the recent technical staff under the previous head coach, Dwight York. So I think right now he is the best fit, and the TTFA saw it right to put him into that position right now.
Now, Derek, many describe your appointment as a move towards stability for Trinidad and Tobago football. So what exactly does stability look like to you?
Well, I think, it's important. I think we had a good bunch of players for the last campaign. So when you watch the average age is about 25. So I think it's important that, we could build on what went on under Coach Dwight York. I think we have good young players, quality young players. And I think, now as the grandparents rule involved, we have plenty of players now is coming forward to join our team. So I think, going forward, which is important, these two games we have here, I think, is important for us leading up to our Nation League game in September.
And just following that, Sean, why was continuity and stability a major factor in Derek's appointment?
I think it's critical. Obviously, we're still very disappointed having not qualified for the World Cup. And that disappointment is not something that you just want to fade away, because this is what has happened in previous years where we felt the disappointment of not qualifying for a World Cup post-2006. And then the TTFA or the FA goes back into the old way of doing things. It's important now that we use this to create real impact going forward in terms of how we plan, how we structure our football, and what we do for continuity. I want to mention a point here that dating back to last year, June, as we got into the phase for the Gold Cup and the World Cup qualifying final round, 8 players made their debut for Trinidad and Tobago who came into the team and really bolstered the team and the setup and the look of how the national team plays at this time. And since the qualifiers ended, we've played 3 friendlies. We've played against Bolivia, Uzbekistan. In Uzbekistan, we played Gabon and Venezuela. Yeah. And Derek has already brought in almost 7 players who've made their debut. And this is promising for Trinidad and Tobago football. So I think now for him is just to get that right mix and to continue to bolster that depth going forward in terms of our player pool.
Yeah.
Now, Derek, you've worked under several national coaches over the years. So how have those experiences really prepared you for this role?
I think, each coach had their different style of coaching, but I think, it's important for me as a young coach coming up that I take little pieces and add to my style of play. So I think, the experience was really nice working alongside these coaches, and, now is an opportunity for me to teach the young players.
And what will be your immediate priorities for the team over the next year?
I think, we're taking it step by step. It's important for, like, for instance, we have those 2 games there. Our first game against South Korea in the United States of America. I will be taking a look at a few players there who is American born and stuff, I think, to add to the team. And I think come September, I think with the pool, I will have a good pool of players, because it's more or less now is for us to get that mix, the right mix. And come September, we'll have the right mix to compete.
Now, Sean, what support systems will the TTFA provide to ensure that Derek can succeed in everything that he's about to accomplish?
As we speak, I think the technical department, which is headed by the president, Karen Edwards, they have started to, in a sense, assess what went wrong in the last campaign and also what went right. Obviously, Dwight had a couple members of staff that have left with him, but the continuity is there in terms of the majority of the backroom staff. They're based in Trinidad, and they will continue to be part of Derek's staff heading into these 2 friendly games as well as the Nations League. And it's just a matter of seeing what he needs in terms of technology, in terms of training camps and preparation generally. I think one of the questions that was raised in the previous campaign is in terms of having a local team preparing and really, continuing over a period of time. The Pro League is on a break right now. It probably would not start for another few weeks, so it's important that he gets that opportunity. As a matter of fact, as we speak this morning, there are a few players in camp already that have started preparing under the local coaches and staff for the upcoming friendlies, and that's one of the things that the TTFA wants to emphasize on going forward.
Now, Derek, there's been a discussion about giving more opportunities to the local players. So how do you plan to balance the local and foreign-based?
No, as Sean said, and I'm glad, he brought it up as well. What we're looking after these 2 friendly games, is to have a local-based team training. And we working on to get some games like, for instance, St. Lucia, Grenada, Barbados here, either in July, August, because we need to expose these younger players, to get them accustomed to playing at international level.
Now, I know fans are really eager for results. That's one thing, especially with Trinidad and Trinbagonian people. We want to see the results, and that's just the reality of it. So, what style of football can we expect under Derek?
Well, I think our style of football is more attacking. When you watch the players that we have, they like to attack, but at the end of the day, we have to be disciplined defensively as well. So we want to go out there and express ourselves, be brave, be committed. I think our key is to work on moments. Because, for instance, we played against Venezuela, 60 minutes in the game. We lead in 1-0 and one mistake, and the team fall apart. So it's things like that. We have to work on moments at this moment. Discipline defensively, stay compact, organized, and we have the quality going forward.
Yeah. Now, it has been mentioned, the importance of choosing your own staff. So have you settled on the team around you?
Well, we have a local staff. I think after these 2 games here, I think we'll add to our staff. We need to bring in at least a few members of staff, but I think so far the local staff is doing their best.
Now, Sean, this is a serious question here. What benchmarks or expectations have been outlined for Derek, over the next year?
Well, I don't know what discussions he's had with the president. As we can recall, the previous head coach had one benchmark or one goal that was set, which was qualifying for a World Cup. The next World Cup is in 4 years' time, in 2030. I think for now, the immediate goal is to ensure that he gets a team that is consistent and that continues to do well and maintains its position in League A of the CONCACAF Nations League. Because that is really important. What we've noticed, what we've seen in recent times over the recent years, every match plays a part though in terms of your seeding and your world ranking that helps you when you go into like a Gold Cup tournament or even future World Cup qualifiers. So I think for Derek, his immediate goal will be to ensure that we get some decent results and to ensure that possibly get into the top 100 of the FIFA rankings within the next 2 to 3 months, hopefully.
Yeah. Now, Derek, with the CONCACAF Nations League approaching, what are your realistic expectations for the squad?
For
the CONCACAF Nations League?
Well, these 2 games is very important. These 2 games is very important for us. So at least, you will see some new players joining the squad. So it's important that come September, we'll have a good core of players and the right mix.
And at the end of this 1-year contract now, Derek, what would you consider a success?
Well, the most important thing, as Sean said, is remaining in the A and also qualifying for the Gold Cup.
And Sean, for you, what would success be from Derek's appointment after this 1 year?
I think really for us from an association standpoint, and I think generally as a footballing public, we want to see some level of continuity coming out of the last campaign. Okay, we know it's a new coach and he's going to have his own ideas, but I think generally people were pleased with what they saw from the team. The team was heading in a good direction. Unfortunately, we didn't get to the World Cup. So I think people are looking forward to see some sort of consistency. And again, if we start well in the Nations League and maintain our place in the League A and continue to get results, I think for us, we'll all be satisfied. I think really it's about continuing to generate that interest in Trinidad and Tobago football. We don't want to lose that at this point in time. We want to build on what we currently have, and hopefully it's going to set us on a good path for the World Cup qualification for 2030.
Yeah, well, Derek, I can't bid you goodbye without asking you to tell the young people who may be interested in football. You've been doing this for such a long time, and look at where you are now. The road was definitely long, but there's so much success and still ahead for you. What would you say to any young person watching this morning who may be interested in football and they want to follow in your footsteps?
I think, first of all, you had to believe, you had to continue praying, believing in God. Because, my story was I got injured when I was 22 years, and I still had the opportunity to coach at a very young age. So I think, hard work, there is no where else, hard work, continue believing in yourself. You need to do the extra work as well. So let's go there and give it your best, Sometimes you have late ones coming up, but at the end of the day, let's go there and give it your all.
Go out there and give it your best and your all. You know what? That's good words to live by today. Thank you for sharing that with us this morning. Thank you, Sean, and thank you, Derek. We take a break and come back. The time now 12 minutes before 7 o'clock on Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
TTT weather with Zaina James, daily at 7 p.m.
स्पैगेटी जैसे घने लंबे बाल, ऑलिव जैसी काली काली, एक्चुअली नॉट सो काली काली आंखें, बेबी कॉर्न जैसी नुकीली नाक, चेरी टमेटोज जैसे लाल लाल गाल, स्लाइस्ड बेल पेपर से बने होंठ, हैलोपिनो सी तीखी जुबान, चलती फिरती पास्ता डिश, आलू पराठा थोड़ी खाऊंगी।
कबीर, मैं तो फ्लैट हो गई। इससे पहले मुझे कभी किसी ने सब्जी की दुकान के जैसे नहीं देखा।
फूल इश्क तेरा मेरा, फूल इश्क टेढ़ा मेढ़ा, फूल इश्क कुछ कुछ मेरा, फूल इश्क ज्यादा तेरा.
Barcelona drawing a game, not winning their first set of game. Worried, concerned?
Emotional damage is fantasy.
What a wonderful finish!
You see it? Sorry. Let me come again. One more time.
If it matters to you, it matters to us. We report the news, real stories in real time. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
About 8 minutes before 7 o'clock. Yesterday, we actually reached the 4-month mark of having the show on Trinidad and Tobago Today on TTT. And a lot of people reached out to us and expressed congratulations. And also yesterday, I said thank you so much to my team, without whom none of this would be possible. So once again today, thank you to everyone sending us all those wonderful messages. We saw all of your comments and we really appreciate it. And I will definitely share that with our team. Remember, you can follow us for all the stories that you see here and more at TTT Live Online. If you want to contribute something to the show, all you have to do is email us at ttttoday@ttt.co.tt. We'd really love to hear from you. Remember, you can follow us at TTT Live Online or at TNT Today Show. Trinidad and Tobago Today, all the news you can trust and the stories that matter. Well, a little hantavirus update for you this morning. Now, a French patient is critically ill and now on an artificial lung as the outbreak has grown to 11. So a French woman infected with the deadly hantavirus and that outbreak on the cruise ship is actually critically ill and being treated with an artificial lung. And this is happening at a Paris hospital. And apparently the woman entered the hospital yesterday. The outbreak has now reached a total of 11 reported cases, 9 of which have been confirmed. We'll come to that in the next hour. But for now, we talk a little bit about Macbeth. The Oratory Foundation continues to bring Shakespeare to life through a uniquely Caribbean lens with its vibrant adaptation of Macbeth. And this is led by the founder, Deborah Jean-Baptiste Samuel. And she's on the line with us right now. Good morning, Miss Deborah. How are you?
A very hearty good morning to you. And I am well, thank God.
All right. Well, tell us what inspired this Caribbean-style adaptation of Macbeth.
Well, we are putting on Macbeth at Naparima Bowl on Friday. That's this Friday. That's 2 days from now. And we have been having this Caribbean-style interpretation of Shakespeare's plays. We've done it not only for this one, we've done it for Othello, A Midsummer's Night's Dream, The Tempest, Twelfth Night, you name it. I started the Shakespeare in 2007. That means it's 19 years now that I've been doing Shakespeare's plays, predominantly for the benefit of students who will face it in the exam. So it's a living tutorial for students who have to face Shakespeare. And these ways of doing these interpretations make it more readily understandable for students to grasp, Shakespeare. Shakespeare's friend Ben Jonson said he's not for an age, but for all time. So even though Shakespeare was born in 1564, died in 1616, his plays are still on the school syllabus, and there's a reason. They're timeless. And so we have Caribbean interpretation of Shakespeare because the post-colonial experience gives us different ways of looking at things. While we do not interrupt Shakespeare, we present in a very Caribbean way. So we are doing Macbeth, and those are the three witches. Not your regular type of witch that you may think. This witch is grounded in some obeah, because that's what we have in the Caribbean. So that we have put Shakespeare's Macbeth on stage, and it has been readily embraced by teachers and students alike. The public is invited as well. It is on noon. It is on Friday at midday. 12 noon is in the middle of the day, so both public and students can attend. There is a 9 o'clock show, but it is full, sold out. The only one with a little bit of room is the Friday at noon show. So we have Macbeth, we have the Three Witches, we have everything that is pouring out. What we have as a theme base is the line from Shakespeare's play, a drum, Macbeth doth come. And so we have Caribbean drumming. And so that is a line from one of the witches. The third witch says that. Imagine that's a line in Shakespeare. No touching of Shakespeare's words. It says a drum, Macbeth doth come. I don't know what drum Shakespeare had in mind, but I know what drum I have in mind. And it's a Caribbean drum. And the witches are all on the Caribbean pulse. It's resonating. Shakespeare's Macbeth comes with vitality and vibe, drumbeat and style, rhythm and rhyme, and every word in Shakespeare's pride. All the students are understanding it. And for those who remember doing Macbeth in school, it's a great opportunity. Such lines are timeless, like vaulting up.
And I believe that stays with us. Ms. Deborah, that really stays with us when you study Macbeth and when you study Shakespeare in general. Thank you so much, Ms. Deborah, for being here today. We can't wait to attend this one, and we'll give all the information a little later on. But thank you for being here. Remember, that's taking place on May 15th, and that's oratoryfoundation.com. Thank you, Ms. Deborah Jean-Baptiste Samuel, for joining us. Carrie's up next with the major network news at the top of the hour. We take a break before that.
Struggling with heart health or frequent migraines? Discover the simple steps to reclaim your energy and vitality.
We're diving into a topic that affects about 422 million people around the world: diabetes.
Tune into Wellness Unlocked, the series that delivers expert advice, practical tips, and inspiring stories to help you take control of your health and well-being. Your health matters. Don't miss Wellness Unlocked. Watch now on TTT and take the first step toward better health.
I'm Jamila Bannister, host of the Socially Safe podcast, the new TTPS podcast where we share real stories, teach real lessons, and create real impact. From online safety and youth crime to community policing and personal responsibility, we go beyond the headlines and talk about what's happening in our communities with the officers and experts who are on the front lines. Because safety starts with awareness, conversation, and action. Tune in to the Socially Safe podcast on the TTPS YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Don't miss it.
Watch on TTT, Mondays 6 p.m., Tuesdays 1:10 p.m.
TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Good morning, this is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts, making the news at this time.
Minister of Education, Dr. Michael Dowlath, says the provision of psychosocial support to students remains a top priority. Speaking in the Upper House on Tuesday, he said the Education Ministry has begun a structured capacity-building initiative aimed at equipping school personnel with skills needed to identify and respond to signs of emotional distress and self-harm among students.
The session was facilitated by the clinical psychologist team of the DAIU and focused on risk factors, warning signs, suicide risk assessment, safety planning, intervention, and referral protocols. 53 SSSD officers were trained, including schools, social workers, restorative practitioners, and DAIU officers.
Dr. Dowlath also revealed that the ministry is conducting a comprehensive review of its school-based psychosocial support system to further strengthen student care and intervention mechanisms.
This includes assessing district-level needs, reviewing the deployment of guidance officers, school social workers, and DAIU officers, prioritizing support to schools and districts with the greatest needs, strengthening district-level coordination, collaborating with external agencies and professionals, and advancing the necessary staffing and contract-related submission.
In other news, the Senate has approved a motion seeking the removal of opposition Senator Janelle John Bates from the Joint Select Committee on National Security. This follows the presentation of a special report in Parliament on Tuesday, which raised concerns regarding John Bates' continued role on the committee. Opposition Senator Janelle John Bates was accused of assisting former Health Minister Terence Dialsing in editing a witness statement for submission to the Public Administration and Appropriations Committee while she was a member. She was later removed from the committee, issued an apology, and resigned from her position to the opposition leader. Presenting the motion, government business leader Senator Darrell Alahar said the incident undermined the committee's confidence in her ability to uphold confidentiality, hindering its work.
People are not moved just so from committees, or they don't offer to resign by VAPs. We on this side, Mr. President, feel strongly that Senator John Bates must be removed from the Joint Select Committee on National Security forthwith. Her presence on that committee is keeping back the committee's work.
Senator Alahar said this was why parliamentary intervention was necessary.
Still considering whether she should accept her resignation as a senator. But we in the Senate today must act decisively and must send a signal. Because, Mr. President, we have a duty to uphold principle and to protect the integrity of this committee and all GSCs, Mr. President.
The motion was carried by 16 votes in favor, 13 against, with 1 abstention. In some sport now, the Sports Company of Trinidad and Tobago has held a major stakeholder meeting with national governing bodies, describing it as frank and at times difficult. 15 sporting disciplines came to the table on Monday at the National Racquet Sports Center in Tacarigua, from aquatics to volleyball, as Sport TT sat down with NGBs for what became a candid conversation about the future of sports administration in this country. Funding, governance, compliance, and athlete development were all on the agenda, but it was the frustrations of volunteer-led organizations that dominated the room. Many NGBs pointed to the strain of trying to sustain athletes, host events, and stay internationally competitive amid prolonged financial uncertainty. Missed opportunities in sport tourism and facility use were also raised. And that's what's making the news at this time. When we come back, it's hour number 2 of Trinidad and Tobago Today.
The plays that shake the arenas. The stories that move a nation. From football to cricket, track to tennis, every win, every rivalry, every headline. This is where Trinidad and Tobago come for sports.
TTT Sports with Nasira Mohammed, daily at 7 p.m.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
What if possibility was only the beginning? Welcome to Limitless, a journey where ideas become action and action becomes impact. From breaking barriers and challenging misconceptions to designing with dignity and driving innovation with heart. This series explores how inclusion is moving from concept to community in Trinidad and Tobago. Across each episode, we meet the change makers and everyday leaders turning challenges into opportunity, building real solutions that change real lives, from possibility to impact. This is Limitless.
When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens, because your world can't wait. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Up for this exciting challenge and confident about your business? If you are, the 1020 feature is just what we do. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 1020 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun.
The PSCU Credit Union is celebrating 60 years of service with its Vehicle and Home Mortgage Expo, giving members of the public an opportunity to explore financing options for vehicles and homes all in one place. The expo takes place on Saturday, May 16th, 2026 at the C3 Courtyard in San Fernando from 10 to 6, and it will feature on-the-spot pre-approvals, expert advice, and special opportunities for persons looking to purchase a vehicle or a home. Well, joining us this morning are Shanice Dixon, Business Development Officer, and Danielle Fortune Griffith, the Acting Branch Supervisor. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Good. We are great. Thank you for having us.
You're most welcome. So what exactly is the PSU Vehicle and Home Mortgage Expo?
So our 60th anniversary Vehicle and Home Mortgage Expo is an interactive and dynamic financial event. It is designed to connect our members and the wider public with accessible financing solutions. It is a one-stop shop for persons who wish to purchase vehicles and homes. So attendees will be able to speak with our credit officers on the day, speak with and even see all the vehicles that we will have on display from reputable companies, liaise and speak with our real estate agents, insurers, attorneys, and other industry professionals who will be there making the entire process more accessible and easy solutions for all our members.
Yeah, so like a one-stop shop to find out what's
Correct.
next. What do we do from here?
Yes.
How are we ready? Are we prepared for this? Or do we need more documents? We'll talk about documents a little later on, because that's also something that and a lot of people will probably be interested in. So let's find out when and where is this all happening. I know I mentioned something earlier,
Yes,
but
you
let's
did.
hear from you the exact date and time.
Okay, well, it's happening this Saturday, the 16th of May, at the C3 Center Court, the courtyard, and it's from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So we're asking all members to come down to C3 San Fernando, the courtyard, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Yeah, and this is not just for members.
No, it's not.
Okay,
It's
so who can attend?
So both members, we obviously for our members as well as the wider public. So it's a free event. open to everyone, so they can come down, attend, get consultations, see what they can qualify for, look at the vehicles. You never know, a person may come looking at a vehicle and then leaving with one, you know?
Yes,
even
definitely.
home ownership, things like that, we will be able to offer on the day.
Yeah. So now on the vehicle side of things, as you were speaking about that, what can visitors expect?
So visitors can actually expect to interact with some of the top dealers across Trinidad. So we do have Lifestyle Motors, Toyota, Southern Sales, Massey Motors, Answer Motors, and D&D Auto, who would have partnered with us. So on the day, we will have tons of vehicles on display, so persons can come in, view the vehicles, get demonstrations, speak with the representative, and then from there, they can come and speak to our credit officers and get consultations to see which vehicle they can qualify for, how much financing they will be able to access, and get on-the-spot pre-approvals.
Now let's talk about home ownership. So if someone is interested in owning a home, what's in it for them?
Okay, well, at the Expo, again, you're going to have the opportunity to speak with specialists. So we're going to have the loan officers there, as well as mortgage specialists. We're going to have real estate agents. So at the mortgage, you'll be able to, at the Expo, you'll be able to basically have these discussions, how much you qualify for. It's for young persons who are probably planning on getting a home, for first-time homeowners. So it's really for you to come, have that discussion, have that intimate interaction with persons. So it's going to be personalized to each person that's there.
Yeah.
So you're going to come, get pre-qualified, know how you can get there, how we can take you to your dream home.
Yeah, and this is not just for young people, right?
No,
my
everyone.
director's asking, so what about the older folk like him? So it's for anyone.
It is for everyone, because again, we are open bonded credit union, so everyone. So it's not only for members to come out to this expo, we're asking the wider public, everyone to come out to this expo we're having on the 16th.
So would there, yeah, sure.
Sorry, and not only that, even though it's a vehicle and home mortgage expo, what we are doing, we are also extending our services so persons can actually come and sign up for different products that we have. If people would like to apply for membership, they can do so on the day, as well as qualify for other types of loans, not just vehicle and home mortgages, but we do offer other loans. So if persons not on the market for a vehicle or a home, we have other options for them. And we do encourage, come on down and have a chat with us, and we can get you on your financial goals.
Now, who is eligible to be a member of the PSCU?
We're open, so anyone can be a member. So again, previously it would have been just public servants, but now we're open bonded, so it's for anyone who's interested to join, you can come.
Now, for information like that or anything else, will there be opportunities to speak with representatives one-on-one in this event?
Most definitely, we're going to have, so that's actually one of the most valuable things that we have at the Expo, is that we're going to have one-on-one interaction with, again, loan officers, persons, loan specialists. They're going to have, again, that one-on-one interaction such that they could get information, because each person is different. They may have different financial goals, different financial situations. So this is one of the things that we're definitely offering on that day. So we're asking everyone to come down.
Now, the hot question, are there any special financing rates for this expo?
Of course.
Yes, we would not have a 60th anniversary expo without offering, fantastic rates. For our home mortgage, we offer 5%, and that is fixed for the life of your mortgage. So it does not fluctuate, it does not go up, no unexpected charges or anything like that. And for our vehicles, it's as low as 4%.
Yes,
so we do have
some incredible rates.
Yes.
Now, what would you say to someone who's still on the fence about attending? How do we lock it in to make sure that they attend?
This is the perfect opportunity for someone who really is interested in, major purchases or even want to get information. I think this expo is ideal, and it provides valuable information. You get your one-on-one consultation, and you can also sign up for other products and services that we have. An added benefit is that a lot of people may not know the wide span of products and services that we offer. So on the day, you would be able to be introduced to that, and you can see how it can benefit you. Yeah.
Now, before we wrap up, what documents do I need to work with to come to this expo?
Sure.
So I would say at least two major things is your job letter and your pay slip, because that will allow us to know exactly how much you qualify for. But once you're interested in membership, once you can work with your utility bill as well, your 2 forms of ID, and we can take it from there.
Correct, because on the day we will get, like, if persons are interested in purchasing vehicles, they will get a quote on the spot. We have insurers there, even we have real estate agents, so to get pricing, listing, we have attorneys. The whole team is going to be there.
Yes.
So we
when you
provide
come,
everything.
yes. So when you come, you basically leave knowing how much you qualify for in terms of both vehicle as well as your home.
Now, apart from the expo itself, where can people go to seek your services at the PSCU?
All right, so we have, well, in terms of if they want to come on in person, we have 4 branches. One in Tobago, we have San Fernando, Port of Spain, and Arima.
Yeah, there's one in Tobago.
Yes, because we actually had our expo in Tobago recently.
Wow.
Right, so we have 4 physical branches, but you can also visit us online.
Correct. So we are online at www.pscutt.com. There's a wealth of information on our website, and you can also apply for products and services there directly as well.
Right. Well, thank you, ladies. Now, if you need to go apply for your job letter, now was the perfect time. It's Wednesday.
Yes.
Because you need to take that on Saturday.
Yes.
So you still have, let's just say, 2 days to ask your employers for that job letter.
Well, everything is online now, so they may be able to access it online.
Well, yeah. Ladies, give us a recap of the documents that they'll need one more time so they can write it down.
Sure. So 2 valid forms of picture identification, job letter, pay slip, and a utility bill. Yeah.
All right, so those are the things.
All right. Well, ladies, we will see you on Saturday. Anything you want to leave our viewers with this morning?
Just we hope to see everyone down there. You know,
it's a free event.
Yes.
So
open to the
come,
public.
Yes, it's open to everyone. So don't think it's just for members only. It's for everyone. Come, view all the products and services we have. Come and qualify for your home. Come and get that dream car.
Yes.
And remember, at PSCU, on us, you can rely.
Wow. Did you rehearse that? No. But I'm sure you say that a lot.
Yes, we do.
You see, there we go again. Another rehearsal. Thank you, ladies, for being here this morning. We'll see you at 10, at the C3 courtyard. 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Yes.
See, I know that. I know that information. Well, thank you for being here. No problem. We take another short break. And when we come back, we've got another segment for you and so much more. Carmino also joins us today on Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack, whether it's on your day off,
long drives, or house lives.
We are always sweet.
This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar. This isn't just radio, it's tradition.
It's memories.
It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100, guide you on your way. Sweet 100, sweet 100.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Carmino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CarminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Carmino Realty TT. Carmino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
I'm Virmala Balkaran, host of the Socially Safe podcast, the new TTPS podcast where we share real stories, teach real lessons, and create real impact. From online safety and youth crime to community policing and personal responsibility, we go beyond the headlines and talk about what's happening in our communities with the officers and experts who are on the front lines. Because safety starts with awareness, conversation, and action. Tune in to the Socially Safe podcast on the TTPS YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Don't miss it.
Watch on TTT, Mondays 6 p.m., Tuesdays 1:10 p.m.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most, on air and online. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Well, the Safety Council of Trinidad and Tobago has spent decades promoting workplace health, safety and environmental protection across the country under its mission to make safety a way of life. Established in 1986 and incorporated by Parliament in 1999, the Council continues to advocate for stronger safety, culture, education, risk awareness and accident prevention in homes, workplaces and communities across Trinidad and Tobago. While the organization's latest magazine also highlights real-life workplace experiences, all serving as reminders of the life-changing consequences of neglecting health and safety practices. Well, joining me this morning, Mr. Junior Peters, President of the Safety Council of TNT, and Mr. Davy Mirage, Executive Committee Member of the Safety Council of Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Fine. Very fine.
So, gentlemen, for viewers hearing for the first time about the Safety Council of TNT, what is the organization's main mission?
All right, as was indicated in your intro there, our main mission is making safety a way of life in Trinidad and Tobago. Making safety a culture in Trinidad and Tobago throughout all the sectors of the economy, not only in the workplace, but also in communities, in the homes, and so on, preventing accidents and injuries, all right, property losses, and so on. All right, so basically what we want to do is to ensure that when people in the workplace, when people decide to do things, they take into consideration safety and the consequences of what can go wrong, right? So basically, we want to build an environment where risk is assessed before we do whatever we have to do, even in recreation.
Yeah. Now, the slogan of the council is "Make safety a way of life." So, what does that mean in practical, everyday terms?
Well, making safety a way of life really is a philosophy that will enable us to become safe in whatever we do. You know, for example, at the home there are risks, on the road there are risks, at school there are risks. You know, making safety a way of life is a way for us to ensure that we keep ourselves and those around us safe. You know, so it's more like an awareness of people being aware what hazards exist and what they should do to prevent them.
Now, industries like construction and manufacturing, safety is such a critical issue. So tell us a little bit about that and how have we been doing in that area, in those areas in Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, construction has throughout the world has been a hotbed for accidents, generally speaking, because maybe of the nature of the several operations that take place in construction. And therefore, as long there is risk that are not properly managed, you will have accidents, right? In the construction in Trinidad and Tobago is no different from anywhere else. Okay, and you have multiple issues taking place there. The construction industry, I am certain, is dealing with some of the issues. I mean, since you have the USH authority, all right, been monitoring them, okay, and they have been doing basically a good job in relation to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, safely.
Now, I read your latest publication and you shared emotional stories and testimonies. So I know there was an accident survivor. I believe his name was Mr. Gangaram. Now, it's important to share those stories to understand the importance of safety. Tell us about situations like those.
Mr. Gangaram,
Yeah.
particularly. Well, it is important to let people know how easy it is for your life to change as a result of an accident, as a result of ignoring safe practices. Yeah. And in Mr. Gangaram's case, the story didn't say exactly how the accident happened. All right. But what we knew that Mr. Gangaram is now in a wheelchair. All right. And that is because of safety issues being ignored. All right. Risk assessment not being done. Has a job hazard analysis not been done, not being carried out. All right. People decide to take a chance to get the job done, and maybe that may be a good thing to get the job done, but not at the expense of the safety of persons. Mr. Gangaram's situation would have exemplified many other situations in Trinidad and Tobago, and in throughout the world, a matter of fact, where people ignore safety practices and the end results are consequences that we do not want.
Now, on a more controversial point, I have to ask, sometimes you work for companies and an employer may not really care for the safety of an employee. And they may say, well, I need to get the job done, and however you get it done, I really don't care what happens to you if that's to your detriment. What would you say to situations like that? And I guess this is also where the council comes in. So let's talk a little bit about that. I'm sorry if that's a bit controversial for you this morning.
Well, it is controversial in the sense that, although the USH agency, USH authority, has the jurisdiction to enforce safety, what you'd find that, especially in smaller companies, those requirements of the USH Act tend to be not followed, and then employees could be affected, usually negatively. So I think that's one of the things that we have discussed, and you could elaborate a bit more.
Right. What was the question again?
Talking about employers who may not, always care for the well-being and the safety of their employees.
The employees, under the Act, employer and employees have rights, right? Have duties under the Act. The duty of the employer is to ensure a safe place of work, safe systems of work, all right, safe plant and machinery, ensure that he trains his employees, make sure you have competent employees. The employee, on the other hand, have responsibilities as well. And those responsibilities are, for example, reporting to the employer hazards or conditions in the workplace that may bring harm, obeying the rules and regulation set down by the employer. Now, in a situation where the employer doesn't care at all, the employee also have the right to report conditions, unsafe conditions, to the USH authority. And the USH authority is mandated by the Act to investigate, all right, and take whatever action they see necessary in relation to the Act. Yeah.
Okay, so that is
so
definitely...
the employee do have a redress.
Yes.
There.
So,
all right. For those places of employment where you have trade union operations, of course, you find the trade union will get involved. All right, and also you have something called of course, which is something that legislation says as well. The joint health and safety committees set up by employer and employee or worker representative, all right, that should handle some of those issues. All right, so the employer can be held accountable in relations to the Act by the USH authority, all right, for any kind of infringements or unsafe conditions that he allowed the employee to work in.
But I like that you said that the responsibility is not always on the employer. Well, it is on the employer as well as the employee. Yes. And if you find that a situation is, I guess, as you said, infringing on any of your rights and to safety and well-being, then you can't report that. Yes. So that's really critical information. Thank you for that, gentlemen. So let's talk ergonomics now. A lot of times, we don't realize bad posture, small strain injuries, things like that, or even if you have to lift something, bad positioning of your body to do all of that. How big of a problem are those things when it comes to ergonomics?
I can see that work-related musculoskeletal disorders, which are disorders or injuries as a result of poor ergonomics, is a big issue, and has been recognized locally and internationally as being of concern.
Yeah.
And the thing about these types of injuries, they tend to be chronic and develop over long term. For example, a fall or a burn injury is immediate.
Yeah.
Where these types of ergonomic injuries develop over sometimes years. Sometimes after leaving a job, then these issues appear. So that's one of the challenges with dealing with these types of situations.
Yeah. Are you seeing more of those cases popping up now in the industry?
Well, I can't say that they're popping up now. They are more popular now than before, right? But I can hazard a guess.
I said popping up, and they're now popping up. And people are talking more about them now.
Well, yes. As people become more aware of safety in the workplace, all right, and some of the things that can impact them, you have more people, more workers, more organizations, speaking out and talking up about them and so on. So the consciousness or the awareness is having some impact.
Now let's talk about the work that you do. I know you've been involved in training and public education for years. So what types of programs or workshops, anything like that, do you currently offer?
Well, one of the recent workshops was on psychosocial safety. And the reason we selected psychosocial safety is because actually the theme of the ILO's Safety at Work Day this year. So psychosocial safety is about protecting the emotional and mental well-being of workers. And it's been recognized worldwide, even locally, as becoming more of an issue. Typically things like bullying, harassment, people working long hours, all those things contribute to mental stress and eventually, absenteeism, sick leave, reduced productivity.
Yeah.
So it is becoming more of an issue. So one of the reasons why we selected psychosocial safety. Other upcoming programs will be things like on risk assessment, sustainability, and work at heights. Yeah. Work at heights is an issue, especially in the construction industry, people working on platforms, on scaffolds, on ladders, on roofs. And that tends to be a source of injury and even fatalities in the past. Wow. People falling off roofs or scaffolds. So that's one area too we want to focus on.
Now, if a company has a small business or a small contractor has a very small budget or not a large budget, how can they simply improve their safety standards?
All right, that's a tough question. What we're going to advise small contractors is that there is a law that governs health and safety in Trinidad and Tobago, and you are responsible. A law that doesn't make any provision for whether you are small or large. So long as you employ people, then health and safety becomes your responsibility. It is mandatory. All right, it's not optional. You cannot say, well, there's a small budget and so on. All right, as long workers are exposed to risk to their health and safety and the possibility of getting injured, then the employer is responsible for ensuring that he follows the law.
Yeah.
Right? Of course, the OSH authority do have some, or agency do have some responsibility there to ensure that the law is being followed. Right? I mean, yes, I understand in terms of the budgetary confines and so on, but it's not necessarily an excuse. What the employer can do is to start small, make sure your risk assessment is done, All right, make sure one of the ways you can do it is to work along with employees, collaborate with your employees, and so on. If you cannot have a hire, let's say a safety professional, okay, you can have a safety champion, being a worker who also look at safety and so on. Right, but the law has to be followed.
Yeah, definitely. Well, gentlemen, before we close this morning, what's your message to employers and also employees and the wider public about making safety a priority in everyday life?
All right. To employers, there are employers in Trinidad who are doing very well in relation to safety. We tell them to keep it up, improve it. To those who are not doing very well, all right, the Safety Council is here to give whatever assistance we can, all right, to help them improve their way. The Usher authority is always also there. They also give, agency that is, they also give advice and so on. All right. The message is, make safety a way of life. Okay. In not only in the workplace, but in your homes, all right, in your communities, on the beaches. We know there's a situation that happened in Tobago not too long ago. And then there was another situation with a child that was apparently left unattended and was allowed to stray. All those things are issues that we have to deal with. What are the risks involved in the place where I am located at this point in time? In the place that I have control of, what are the risks? And take steps to ensure you mitigate those risks and reduce those risks as far as possible. Put systems in place to do that.
Mr. Maraj?
Well, just continue the same vein. Making safety a way of life is really what we should all be focused on. We do simple things like crossing the street, look left, look right, look left again. So that same sort of mindset or thinking is how we should approach all situations, especially in the workplace.
A lot of times people tell you, be safe, and then you don't really realize what, it doesn't register exactly what they're saying. It's just, they're telling me to be safe, drive safe. But I think even on the roads, especially on the roads these days, the critical message is really be safe and process that and put that, at the front of everything that you do. Well, thank you, gentlemen. A very critical discussion this morning about safety, not just in the workplace, but in everyday life.
Right.
And it will go a long, long way. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Peters and Mr. Maraj.
Thank you for having us.
No problem.
Thank you very much for having us as well.
No problem. Safety Council for T&T. Well, the time now, it is 7:37. Up next, we talk all about real estate, as usual on a Wednesday with Camino Realty.
Whatever the skies bring, stay prepared with TTT weather. Committed, accurate, relevant.
All right, settle on. Let's see who made the roster this year. Excuse me, sir.
Ahí ya le queda puesto a mi abuelo, ahí te la digo.
Mr. White,
Yes, Principal.
are these the new students?
Yes. The best of the best.
Stop now, that's practice time. New class, new class. What? New class, new class. What? New class, new class. That's a wrap.
Say, CEO, what if the term now starts and these children missing school already?
Hey, what are you doing there?
Introducing the new class of Next 99.1 FM.
TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
By Camino Realty International team as we focus on a wide range of real estate topics to educate, support, and empower prospective homeowners throughout the property purchasing process. Well, good morning and welcome back to the Managing Director, Ms. Rachel Ramla. Hi, Rachel. Welcome back.
Good morning, Virmala.
So, Rachel, last week we had such a great conversation on survey plans, but I believe we left it, just before we got into the components of the survey plan, because I really wanted to continue that discussion today so we can get a little bit more, in depth, so we can really delve into that. So let's continue talking about these survey plans now. So let's remind people, what exactly is a survey plan? Why do you need it?
Right, so a survey plan is important, especially when you are purchasing both land and land with buildings. It gives you the exact measurements and the dimensions of the parcel of land.
Yeah. So now we're talking about the components of a survey plan. So what really makes up these plans?
So I believe we have some images for you guys. So we'll be going through, the major things that you should see or be familiar with as an agent when looking at a survey plan. So those things would be like your location maps, the stamps, and the measurements. So when you are looking at the full plan, you will see a location map that kind of gives you a generalized area of where the property is. Yeah. And then you'll also see the legend that, it'll tell you like where the road is, where the drain is, where the perimeter wall is, where the actual building. Yeah, so that's what it looks like, and it's in a little, it's normally on the left of the plans that we do, right? So that's the location map and the legend. Then another important aspect are the stamps. So it is important to make sure that your survey plans are signed, first of all, by a registered surveyor, as well as stamped. So in this case, for obvious reasons, we blocked off the signature because I took these from an actual survey plan. So you'll see they have the surveyor's stamp confirming that the surveyor is registered with the Trinidad and Tobago Land Surveyors. And you'll also see the stamp from the Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries Surveys and Mapping Division. So that confirms that the plans were submitted and registered. Yeah.
So these things are absolutely critical with your survey plans. So, the other elements of this would be like, what about the area of the land?
Correct. So the other thing that we have are the road measurements. So the map will give you the precise measurements of the streets, the road reserve. It will let you know if your property is encroaching on the roadway or if it's the other way, because it could happen as well. You could have the road encroaching on your property. Yeah, it has happened. So you'll see in this image here, the pink area, it's normally colored pink. You'll see where they say this is the building, you know, you're seeing the outline of the building there. And then in the image on the left, you'll see the road. So it tells you the measurements of the road reserve. And then all those little lines have a meaning. All those little lines represent something. So that's why they put the legend for you.
Okay. So you know what everything means.
Correct. So you can look at the legend, look at the map, and then say, well, okay, my property is good, you know?
Yeah.
Or you can look at it and say, well, okay, this building is encroaching on the road reserve. That might be a problem. Yeah?
Any other components of the survey plans that we need to know about?
So those are the major things that you will see. And like I say, if you use the legend, that's how we learn to read the plans and figure out, well, okay, this is going here, this is, you know, this is a good property, or we might have a problem. You know? But again, at the end of the day, we are not licensed, registered surveyors. Always take your advice from a licensed and registered surveyor. Just having done so many transactions, of course, we have made ourselves familiar with the plans and the components.
So Rachel, if my property is not being sold, can I still have a survey plan done?
Absolutely. So we encourage all of our clients, whether you are listing land for sale or you are purchasing land, we recommend that you have a survey plan done. Because remember last week we were talking about the concept of land. Land could move, you know, because like you can have somebody go and measure it and they put like the sticks or the poles, right? But as time goes by, those things could shift and then you might think that this is your area or your parcel or plot of land, but then when the surveyor comes, there might be changes to it, you know? So on the vendor's side, you want to make sure that what you are marketing for sale is actually what is there. And similarly, on the purchaser's side, you want to make sure what you are purchasing is what you are actually seeing.
Now, Rachel, how long does it take for a survey plan to be prepared?
So normally, once there are no issues with the parcel, it should take about 3 to 4 weeks. But if there are issues, then it could be longer. Again, I'm not at liberty to say because each issue can have a different time frame to be sorted out.
Do you have any tips for people this morning?
Yes. So, 1, use a licensed and registered surveyor. It's always important to make sure that you are using persons or getting your advice from reputable persons within the industry. Yeah?
That's very important because you do not want to take information from someone who doesn't know exactly what it is, and then you're in a situation. As with everything you've been discussing, Rachel, you've always impressed upon us the importance of getting solid, legitimate advice.
Correct.
Yeah. So can we just recap very quickly, Rachel, what are some of the key components of the survey plans for us once again?
Right, so when you're looking at your survey plan, make sure you see your stamps, your signature and stamps. You will see a location map and a legend. And what else is there? Location map.
The area of the land.
The area, yes, the area, the dimensions.
The signature, it needs to be signed.
Yes.
See, I'm picking up. I am learning.
She's learning.
I feel like a part of the Camino team. Yeah, every single week we're learning.
I would say you are.
Yeah, look at that. Yes. Every single week we're learning so much from Camino. Rachel, thank you for being here with us this morning. Always sharing a wealth of information that not just people who want to buy a home, but if you know someone who's probably in this process, you can share this information with them and it will definitely come in handy. So of course, check them out on social media. They also have their email for you here. It's on the screen. So reach out to them, Camino Realty International Limited. Well, Rachel, we thank you again. We look forward to seeing you next week. And we can't wait to hear what you have planned for us next week.
We have surprises next week. So Yes.
Well, I'm holding you to that.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Managing Director Rachel Ramnall. While we take our final break for the hour, the news is up at the top. When we come back, we get ready to wrap it up for Trinidad and Tobago today.
Barcelona drawing the game, not winning their first set of game. Worried, concerned.
Emotional damage is his fantasy.
What a wonderful finish.
You see it? Stop. Come again. One more time.
स्पैगेटी जैसे घने लंबे बाल, ऑलिव जैसी काली काली, एक्चुअली नॉट सो काली काली आंखें, बेबी कॉर्न जैसी नुकीली नाक, चेरी टमेटोज जैसे लाल लाल गाल, स्लाइस्ड बेल पेपर से बने होंठ, हैलोपिनो सी तीखी जुबान, चलती फिरती पास्ता डिश, आलू पराठा थोड़ी खाऊंगी।
कबीर, मैं तो फ्लैट हो गई। इससे पहले मुझे कभी किसी ने सब्जी की दुकान के जैसे नहीं देखा।
फूल इश्क तेरा मेरा, फूल इश्क टेढ़ा मेढ़ा, फूल इश्क कुछ कुछ मेरा, फूल इश्क ज्यादा तेरा।
Well, once again, we're at summer's doorstep. The action is picking up with a variety of events that'll thrive alongside all of the popular attractions. Hello everyone, I'm Aidan St. Agath and welcome to Caribbean Passport TV.
All eyes will be on Antigua this summer for the 2026 Carnival celebrations, to which everyone is invited to feel the rhythm. With over 2 months of pre-events to warm things up, Antigua and Barbuda is event and activity driven. So if eco-adventure and marine life are among your passions, then Scooter Snorkeling is the tour company for you.
Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
The Mother Church of the Anglican Diocese suffered significant damage during the earthquake of 2018. Efforts are underway to raise funds to restore this national heritage site. You are invited to make your donations with monthly deposits at any branch of the First Citizens Bank, account number 2696950, Marval Road Branch, in the name of the Incorporated Trustees of the Anglican Holy Trinity Cathedral Restoration.
Well, these days have been really, really hot, but last night there was a little bit of a shower. Also woke up to some rain this morning. Well, to find out what's in store for today, we have Zaina James.
I'm Zaina James with your weather update. After a few early morning cloudy periods, Wednesday will bring another round of hot, hazy and breezy conditions across both islands as dry conditions continue alongside a mild to moderate concentration of Saharan dust. For those with an interest in the seas, spring tide conditions will start on Wednesday, so caution is advised, especially during high tide, as tidal levels have the potential to become exaggerated. Otherwise, seas will remain moderate in open waters, with wave heights between 1.5 and 2 meters, while sheltered areas remain slight with waves below 1 meter.
Thank you so much, Zaina James. Well, Bava Sport says it is deeply saddened following a hit-and-run incident on May 10th involving marathon participant and seasoned road runner Curtis Forbes during its national marathon event. Well, the incident occurred in Mount Lambert, where Mr. Forbes was struck by a vehicle and later transported to the Eric Williams Medical Sciences Complex, where he is warded in a stable condition. BAFA Sports says it remains in close contact with his family and continues to monitor his recovery. The organization also understands that the driver has since surrendered to police, who are now preparing a report. The group is calling on any witnesses or persons with dashcam or CCTV footage to assist investigators while extending well wishes for Mr. Forbes' recovery and urging continued focus on road safety. Well, this morning we began the show with a story from Tobago. There is an ongoing search for missing 2-year-old Angelo Tobias in Tobago, and the child's body has been spotted in the water, but I do believe that they are currently trying to recover that body. Now, the Hunters Search and Rescue Team is trying to make their way to Tobago. Information coming to hand is that the waters are a bit rough, and they will be making their way there tomorrow. Of course, all the information will come to us, and we will give it to you via TTT Live online. Well, it is almost time for us to wrap it up today. We say thank you so much. If you missed it yesterday, we said happy 4-month anniversary to us here on Trinidad and Tobago Today. So once again, thank you to the amazing viewers who are always plugged in every single day. If you're streaming us live on Facebook or YouTube, thank you for being here. For those of you leaving us comments, sending us emails, we appreciate your feedback. Remember, you can send us an email at tttoday@ttt.co.tt, and you can be a part of the conversation that's shaping our nation. Trinidad and Tobago Today, all the news you can trust, and of course, all the stories that matter. Once again, thanks to the team without whom none of this would be possible, who come out every single day and put in so much hard work. Well, as promised, Carrie is up next with the major network news at the top of the hour. Tomorrow is Tobago Thursday, and we have so much in store for you, so we can't wait to touch on everything from the Sister Isle. Also, just remember, we are following closely that story of that missing 2-year-old in Tobago, so we will bring you that information. Stay tuned to our social media pages as well for those updates. It's time for us to wrap it up. We see you tomorrow 6 to 8, where we do this all over again. Bye-bye.
स्पगेटी जैसे घने लंबे बाल, ऑलिव जैसी काली काली, एक्चुअली नॉट सो काली काली आंखें, बेबी कॉर्न जैसी नुकीली नाक, चेरी टमेटोज जैसे लाल लाल गाल, स्लाइस्ड बेल पेपर से बने होंठ, हैलोपिनो सी तीखी जुबान, चलती फिरती पास्ता डिश, आलू पराठा थोड़ी खाऊंगी।
वाह कबीर, मैं तो फ्लैट हो गई। इससे पहले मुझे कभी किसी ने सब्जी की दुकान के जैसे नहीं देखा।
फूल इश्क तेरा मेरा, फूल इश्क टेढ़ा मेढ़ा, फूल इश्क कुछ कुछ मेरा, फूल इश्क ज्यादा तेरा।
What if possibility was only the beginning? Welcome to Limitless, a journey where ideas become action and action becomes impact. From breaking barriers and challenging misconceptions to designing with dignity and driving innovation with heart. This series explores how inclusion is moving from concept to community in Trinidad and Tobago. Across each episode, we meet the change makers and everyday leaders turning challenges into opportunity, building real solutions that change real lives, from possibility to impact. This is Limitless.
Your news anytime, anywhere. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Good morning. This is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. The National Council of Indian Culture celebrates 180 years of the East Indian presence in Trinidad and Tobago with an art exhibition. Chairman of the National Museum and Art, Richard Rampersad, is also the curator of the exhibition.
The exhibition invites artists to produce works that interrogate aspects of their everyday life, from cuisine, culture, to rituals, festivals, even iconography of divinity and that type of thing, history, as well as we have noticed a lot of the work stems from the indentureship project. Persons would have drawn inspiration from that type of narrative. So it's really an amalgam of different facets of Indo-Trinbagonian culture.
Mr. Rampersad noted that the theme of this year's celebration is celebrating our Indo-Trinbagonian legacy. He highlighted the importance of the exhibition.
It's really important to be that repository of information that person can come and get about the Indo-Trinbagonian culture and experience. We have a collection of approximately 50 plus works of art that would include drawings, paintings, and even some sculptural works, some three-dimensional pieces. In total, we have 30 artists. This is a big number. This is a large group.
It's a lot.
What we're really doing, we're creating a repository of work.
The exhibition will be held at the NCIC Nagar in Chaguanas from May 23rd to June 5th, 2026. In other news, at a critical stage in the country's energy transition, Minister of Tertiary Education and Skills Training, Professor Prakash Prasad, is urging engineers to close the gap between education, industry, and communities to better prepare Trinidad and Tobago for a sustainable and resilient future. Speaking at the second installment of the Association of Professional Engineers of Trinidad and Tobago, or APET, technical conference at the Hyatt Regency on Tuesday, Minister Prasad highlighted the urgent need to better integrate vocational training with academic programs to prepare the next generation of engineers.
We're trying to set up a technical stream that people can go right up. You know, you go through the technical, you can attend university and arrive at university going through traditional academic track, or you can do the TVET track.
The minister noted that technical training and tertiary education would no longer be treated as separate paths.
Some of the most highly trained manpower are universities. 70 to 80% of the cost of a university salaries. Are we making the most effective use of our brightest minds? This should solve the problems.
Added that moving forward, formal mechanisms will be implemented to connect university research with national problems, while calling for policies that foster stronger collaboration between academia, industry, and government. In some sport now, Barbados Pride resumed day 3 on 262 for 9, but could only add 34 more runs, being bowled out for 296, 37 short of Trinidad and Tobago Red Force's first innings total of 333 in their West Indies Championship clash in Antigua. With a first innings lead of 37, the Red Force wasted no time asserting their dominance in the second innings. Cephas Cooper was the standout performer, top scoring with an unbeaten 101 off 192 deliveries, hitting 14 fours. The Red Force closed day 3 on 209 for 7. Joshua Bishop, who was left stranded on 99, not out in the Pride's first innings, was the pick of the Barbados bowling attack, taking 4 for 60, while Roston Chase sent down 21 overs, claiming 3 for 49. And that was your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. From our entire TT team, have a great day.
This is TTT. Live for local.
On Thursday, April 30th, 2026, the government of Trinidad and Tobago signed a comprehensive establishment agreement with the World Bank Group, providing for the establishment and operation of offices in Trinidad and Tobago. Here are the highlights.
The signing of this agreement for the establishment and operation of the World Bank Group of offices in TNT, and the stroke of this pen, my government's promise of better days ahead is being sealed. It is often said that significant progress takes time, and this marks one of those moments where that effort comes to fruition. In a time of global uncertainty, partnerships matter, credible institutions matter, results matter. Therefore, together with our friends in the World Bank Group, we have made a strategic investment in our future. By establishing offices in Trinidad and Tobago, this investment will yield dividends in jobs, innovation,